it's me again, Vincent Carl Daya, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. So for today's vlog, we will have a new topic to discuss, and if you want to know what topic is all about, I'll bet that you will keep on watching up until the end of this video. So without further ado, let's now begin. So our topic for today is all about elasticity. But before that, let me share this to you, our key takeaways or the objectives for today's lesson. So here are the key takeaways for today's lesson. So here are the key takeaways are the things that needs to be discussed all throughout this video. So the first one is we have to define what is elasticity. Second, we have to give examples of goods with price inelastic and elastic demand, and also the three major forms of elasticity, and lastly the factors that affect the price elasticity of demand. So first, we have to define what is elasticity. So, elasticity is a general measure of the responsiveness of an economic variable in response to a change in another economic variable. So, in other words, elasticity helps people purchase goods and services according to their abilities and needs. So, given the scarcity of resources, consumers are usually compelled to make choices not only on the type of the commodities to buy, but also on the quantity of the commodities to purchase. And the general law of demand states that consumers are likely to reduce their quantities of consumption in case price increases. So elasticity of demand informs people on the direction of change and demand resulting from not only a change in other factors but also the magnitude of the change. So that's what elasticity means. And now let's move on to the examples of good with a price in elastic and elastic demand. So first, let's talk about the inelastic demand. So what inelastic demand means? So inelastic means that when the price goes up, consumers' buying habits stay about the same. And when the price goes down, consumers' buying habits also remain unchanged. If elasticity, then it is said to be perfect inelastic, meaning its demand will remain unchanged at any price. So the following are the examples of inelastic goods or products. First is we have here beef, gasoline, salt, textbooks, and prescription drugs. And other definition of that is the most common goods with inelastic demands are utilities, prescription drugs as what I've said earlier, and also tobacco products. In general, necessities and medical treatments tend to be inelastic, while luxury goods tend to be the most elastic, which we'll be tackling on the next slide. So that's it. So let's talk about the examples of the goods with a price elastic demand. So what elastic means? So elastic is the economic concept used to measure the change in the aggregate quantity demanded of a good or service in relation to price movements of that good or service. So in short, a product is considered to be elastic if the quantity demand of the product changes drastically when its price decreases or increases. So in short, that elastic means are the things that are considered to be long-lasting. So that's what elastic products means. So example of the elastic products are the housing, furniture, and cars. And now let's talk about the three major forms of elasticity. So first on the list is the price elasticity of demand. So what price elasticity of demand means? So according to Taylor 2006, sensitivity of demand to changes in price varies from one commodity to another, and it is measured by price elasticity of demand. In this regard, price elasticity of demand is defined as the percentage change in the demand for a given commodity due to unit change in price of the commodity. Next is the cross-elasticity of demand. Demand of one commodity is usually depend on the price of other commodities. In this regard, if price of one commodity rises, quantity demanded of another commodity can increase or decrease depending on whether the commodities in question are substitutes or complements. So cross-elasticity of demand is the measure of how dependent demand of a given commodity is on a price of another commodity. So in short, cross-elasticity of demand can either be positive or negative depending on whether the goods are substitutes or complements. So the last one is the income elasticity of demand. So consumers can only purchase the quantities that their disposable income can afford. As a result, income levels are highly influential when dealing with changes in demand for any given commodity. Income elasticity of demand refers to the percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity arising from change in income levels of people, assuming that other factors are held constant. On the same note, it is important to note that different groups of commodities respond differently to changes in income. In this regard, taking into consideration whether a given commodity is an inferior or a normal good, income elasticity of demand can be either be positive or negative, according to Taylor 2006. So we're now on the last topic of this lesson, which is the factors that affect the price elasticity of demand. So here are the four following factors. First is the availability of close substitutes. Second is if the goods is a necessity or a luxury. The third is the proportion of income spent on a good. And lastly, the time elapsed since a change in price. So there you have it, guys. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my vlog, and I hope that you will learn something from it. Till my next video again, guys. Bye bye.
Never mind all our worries.